Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Mental Mondays on Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys watching this week's video. And everybody that's familiar with Mental Mondays, like I said, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, this is something we do once a week that really doesn't have anything to do with fishing. It's usually some topics I like to bring up that sort of like gets you thinking a little bit, stretches your imagination, and hopefully helps everybody out a little bit. But guys, today we're going to be talking about some things you can do when life gets tough. Everybody's going to go through this. There's nobody that's going to be immune to that. And there's some things that I like to share with you guys that, I've learned and observed and witnessed that may help you guys out a little bit. One of the first premises in this is that you can't, I think it's sort of a pessimistic viewpoint to say that life is just hard all the time, because it's not. Life is just, it's an endless ebb and flow and a cycle all the time. You're going to have highs and lows in your life throughout, the existence of your whole life. That's just the way the universe works. That is the nature of reality a little bit. So one of the things that I think we can focus on is to try to keep those highs longer and make the lows less frequent. But nevertheless, I think that that's something that you can't escape. It's just the way life works. It's the way the universe works, and we can observe that in every single aspect of our existence as far as the cycles of life on every single level out there. One of the sort of like a comforting thought a little bit when I think about the cycle of life and balance and that type of stuff is most scientists, planetary scientists agree the Earth is around 4.8 billion years old, give or take a few 100 million years. And they also agree that probably in about 4.5 or 5 billion years from now, our sun is going to start dying out. And when it dies out, it turns into what is called a red giant. It expands, and it's eventually going to engulf and destroy the Earth in 4.5 or 5 billion years from now. Not that you got to worry about that, but regardless, when that happens, this entire cycle changes. This entire cycle begins again, because our planet was formed 4.5 billion years ago. It's going to be around about 10 billion years. It's going to be destroyed. All of that matter that goes out into space when the destruction takes place eventually is probably going to form other planets and stars, and then the eternal dance of life continues over and over again. And that's the way it is on a macrocosm. But on a microcosm in our own lives, that's the same thing you're going to experience, are those cycles within your life. And the difficult part of life, and the things that are difficult in life, are events that are either thrust upon us or that we've created ourselves, or whatever variable. But there's going to be times in our life when every single aspect of our life has the season of being easy or difficult. It can be your relationships, it can be your finances, it could be your health, it could be whatever, your relationships with other people. And you're going to have some hard times in there. I don't know if there's anybody out there that is going to be immune to experiencing hard times in every aspect of their life: personal, relationship, finances, health, anything like that. There's going to be degrees to that, but you're going to experience some difficulty in that at some point, and that shouldn't really be any concern. You shouldn't worry about that or stress about that inevitability. It's just part of the cycle of life that we have to learn how to deal with. Now, one of the things that I think is really important to this is when you're going through a difficult time in your life, those times, the intensity of that difficulty varies from some type of just minor inconvenience to some type of extremely debilitating event. And what those debilitating events are sort of what I want to focus on a little bit here in this video here. Because every debilitating event, emotionally or mentally to you, it has a different personality to it based upon what it involves. Because if you suffer some type of loss, whether it be, somebody close to you passes on, or, you go through a painful divorce or separation, that type of that type of pain and that type of loss and that type of difficulty is different than, say, for example, you lose your job, or you get into some type of financial difficulty that you have to deal with, and that's different from some type of a health issue. So every single difficulty that we are going to experience in this life has a different energy to it and a different feel to it. But inevitably, the approach to that, what I would suggest, is very similar to the same thing, because one of the most basic fundamental things of getting past difficult times in your life is, I feel that there are stages to that. Now, the first stage, when you're going through a difficult time, there's going to be a wide range of emotions. There's going to be anger, there's going to be frustration, could be sadness, or could be just a wide range there. When you initially go through that, I think it's very important that you allow those emotions to come forth, and you've got to vent it, and you've got to allow whatever negative emotion to manifest and get out of your system. I mean, if something happens like this, just give yourself the permission to be angry and mad for a little bit. Give yourself the permission to be sad or whatever like that. You can't cover up the most primal, basic emotion that comes from having some type of a setback like that in life. You have got to get it out, and you've got to release it. That is of utmost importance. And I think a lot of people, what they try to do is, when something difficult happens in their life, they or somebody around them immediately tries to put a Band-Aid on it and fix it. And there's time for that, but it's not immediate. It's like right off the bat, allow yourself to get pissed off. If you lost your job or whatever like that, get pissed off about it. I mean, if you have whatever, if you've broke up with your girlfriend, allow yourself to get pissed off and frustrated and sad about that, for whatever period of time you need to get through that. Now, once you do get through that first part of the process, this is when the real benefit comes to approaching it from a certain viewpoint. And that viewpoint is once you get through that basic emotion on this difficulty, the next step that you have to do is you have got to discipline yourself to focus on the problem. Focus on the solution to that problem and not the problem. You have got to take the energy away from that problem. And so many people, guys, I'm not saying without exception, but the vast majority of people, when they are faced with some type of a debilitating situation or, problems, whatever like that, is they can't get past focusing on the problem. They can't get past sort of that victim mentality a little bit that comes with that. That's easy to get sucked into it. But if you're going to transcend that and you're going to move past that hard part of your life, you have got to discipline the way you think about that every time and focus on, okay, what is the solution to this problem? How can I fix this problem? And that immediately puts you into action. That creates a shift into your mind to have some aspect where you do have control of that situation. And it can be anything out there. It can, every single situation about how you're going to deal with that problem and fix that problem and move forward in a positive direction will vary based upon the situation. If it's something, with finances or career, you have to sit down and figure out, okay, how can I reduce my expenses? How can I increase my income? Let's focus on that. Let's figure out how we're going to do this. And this is how I'm going to get out of this situation. If you just come out of a relationship that you didn't want to be in, or, it's something happened there, or you had some type of a loss from a loved one, you got to figure out a different recipe for that. And that recipe may be, reflecting on the things that happened in the past and moving forward in the future to allow those negativities not to happen, or to put things into your life that fills that gap in a positive way. Every single thing has a different direction. If it's a health issue out there, you got a couple different things there. Some health issues are controlled. There's controlled variables that you can take care of to help that. Some of them are uncontrolled. But still, even if you have sort of an uncontrolled health variable, you still, nobody can tell you how to feel about that mentally. You have that ability to decide how you want to feel about that whatever that disability may be or that problem you have with your health. Nobody can tell you, hey, you need to think like this, or you need to focus on this negative aspect of this health problem. You can totally take control of that yourself, which ought to be a very, comforting thought with that. Main thing, guys, like I said, you just got to figure out what you can do to improve your own situation and stop feeling sorry for yourself. I think so many people out there, when they're faced with a difficult problem in life, they don't get past that initial stage of that grief and anxiety and frustration and anger, all that type of stuff. They continue to stay curled up in this fetal position that allows them not to move forward in whatever aspect of their life that they have. And that is the thing that takes a little bit of strength and takes a little bit of courage with that. And it takes encouragement from other people. Man, you have got to surround yourself with people out there that want to help you and want the best for you and can give you, positive critical thinking advice. There's a fine line between helping somebody and enabling somebody to continue, the same path that they're on. It's a delicate balancing act between like compassion and kindness and, just a call to action sort of with that. But the main thing, guys, is, first of all, just accept the fact that, life is change. That is the definition of life right there. It's a constant flow of change. And everything that you see around you on this planet we live in is in a constant cycle. It's an ebb and flow. I mean, anything you observe in nature, anything you observe in the life is a constant ebb of up and down, whether it be good times, bad times, emotions, whatever. And you have to accept that. You have to really cherish and enjoy those positive times. And on the negative times, when you have difficult times, just realize that it's temporary also. It's going to pass, and do what you can to lessen the intensity of that. So I think this is sort of one of those topics that people that I wish they would teach that in school to young people, because so many of these really important emotional and mental things that we deal with as human beings are not taught to us in any level. They're not taught to us by our parents or in schools or in education. It's sort of something you have to learn from the school of hard knocks there. But anyway, it's just part of life, man. It's just like we are, simply that you're sitting here watching this video and I'm sitting here, making this video. You got to consider yourself so fortunate just to be here. I mean, to be in this physical form that we are as human beings right now, and to be able to experience life in all different aspects and forms, what it is, that's an incredible privilege that everybody has, and everybody should really, cherish with that, because it's temporary, guys. We are literally on this planet for the blink of an eye. I mean, if you live to be 100 years old, that's still just a blink of an eye. You're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to be an old person if you're fortunate enough to live there. So just realize that everything that happens here on this planet is just temporary, and we are in this never-ending, eternal adventure out here. It truly is. I mean, it just goes back to the basic fundamentals of physics. It's like matter cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes form, and we are matter. Human beings are matter, just like everything, like my boat sitting there is matter. It's not created, it's not destroyed, it just changes form, as we will too. So main thing, guys, do not take life very seriously. Try to have a good time, enjoy it. It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. There's ups and downs here in life. Just try not to give it too much energy, and enjoy the things that you can enjoy while you're here. So hope it helps out. We'll see you guys.